The one thing that that I pick from, I don't numbers my kids to death. I have a TV over my cage. I will video stuff with my phone, and then as soon as I video it, I'll show it to the hitters, and then I delete it. Because what happens to them is they start getting bogged down. It's one thing to have a video staff on campus breaking stuff down and showing graphs and being able to get some solid information. When you're dealing with kids that are in junior high, elementary school, whatever age group they are, it varies a lot. So you have to be able to pick and choose when to be intense, when to focus, and when to lock them in on certain things. So it's a lot different to coach the various groups of kids. The one thing that's unique with the blast sensors is I can rate them and I can see where they're at based on their own age group. So I know based on, it's broken up into competitive levels, so I can break it up and show them where they're at. But today, my biggest thing that I want to focus on is, and as you guys sit in here, and for the people that watching online, this is a weight room. We train here. Our kids are lifting all the time. You see leaderboards up on the back. People that are, I think, Alyssa, what'd you deadlift? Where are you at? 300 pounds? 300 pounds? 300-pound deadlift for a 16-year-old is pretty legit. And it's the leg strength, the preparation, and things that we really push on our kids. For years, we've worked in the weight room and we've done all this thing. Well, what Blast has done, it's allowed us that different perspective, that eyesight from above that can see the things that I can see, but can give me a reason for why and answering why we need to keep doing this, or we need to add more of this and add different perspectives. So one of the things that I watch the most of the metrics is the connections. Early connection and connection at contact. And what I have related a lot of this to is obviously their strength, their posture. We use the term balance and posture 90% of the time. Only God can teach somebody to take their hands and do certain things. And people, coaches were talking earlier how people stand there in weird stances. Kenny was talking about the girl that jumps up and down. There's certain things that are left alone. But there are also certain things that you can improve, and there's certain things that a coach can see that doesn't necessarily correlate to their batting average. So it's our job to find the physical makeup of their body, what they're not using in their body, to try and pick that back up. Kids today spend more time on their phones than they do in the playground. They don't climb trees, they don't ride bikes, they don't do the things that many of us older adults did. And so we have to find ways to initiate that movement. So what I do is I have a great staff. Stratton Kim is my head trainer here with Ethan, and I can take my video stuff and I give it to a training staff. I have people break down, and then I take it and correlate it with what their blast sensors are saying. And here again, I don't feed that information to them all the time, but we keep it. We log it in because that way we can track their balance, posture, their strength, their ability to accelerate their hips. Girls don't rotate their hips. Our bodies are symmetrically balanced. For some reason, they think this is accurate. They get negative in their bodies. Your body wasn't meant to operate negatively. Trying to get girls to accelerate through their front side and realize their acceleration through their front hip and their bottom hand is something that we have found to be very effective for us. So I put together a couple drills, and I'm going to have Matea start, because Matea here does these drills really, really well. I'm going to show you on some Bosu balls here, and then we're going to do a couple drills that the people can see, and you guys can get an idea of what we work with the younger kids that goes all the way up. Grab that and a little bat. A little bat's right over there. I'm not going to make you hit on I won't throw balls at you. But what we do is, they talked earlier about the strength in the legs and the glutes, and jump up on there just as if I'm tossing them from this angle, okay? These Bosu balls, we use these Bosu balls quite a bit. And the biggest thing that I've learned even from watching Alyssa, one of the things you'll notice what makes her a good hitter is her leg strength. When she lands, her head doesn't move. So what I've done is we tried to recreate that. Kenny talked about competitive swings. Well, when your legs are on fire and you're ready to drop dead, you get competitive. You learn it, you try to survive. So what we do with them is we put them up on these Bosu balls and this is a bottom hand drill. I try to get girls to fire their bottom hands, get more length to their swing with their front hand. And so I put this little tiny medicine ball in their back arm so I can quiet down their backside. Most girls want to rotate. They want to bring their backside outside the ball. They want to pull off the ball or spin off the ball. So what we do, I take the weight of this med ball and I put it over their back thigh. And I try to get that weight to stay in her back thigh. Okay, go through some swings, just like you're getting the bottom hand. Okay? It's very hard for them to pivot and rotate this back foot and to rotate their hips. But what happens over a period of time, they start doing it. It engages their legs. This will, tell them how this feels after, how does that feel after about 30 swings?
It burns my legs.
It burns your legs. Okay, go through a couple more. But by doing the bottom hand drill, and you guys can see, it's very hard. She'll get to this, I toss baseballs to her. You know, I throw baseballs at them 90% of the time because they're easier for me to throw in my arm. But I flip balls at them and then just rotate, get your belly button through the ball, go. She knows how to fire her hips. So at 10 years old, she's already in a position where her glutes are engaging, her calves and her thighs are engaging, but her belly button, her body's getting behind the ball. And at a young age like this, she's well on her way to being able to do this because she slaps as well. And then I can do just regular swings. And just swing the bat. Okay? And so as we develop her strength, this develops, you know, we were talking, somebody talked about hitting from the ground up, strengthening their legs and being able to swing the bat from the ground up. This is a drill that we have found very, very purposeful, you might say, in our workout, okay? Come here, Les, I want you to do this. Grab your bat. You can switch, okay? I'm going to have you go this way so that it's on the camera, okay? And I'm not going to toss the ball at you either. And then we'll go with just somebody a little bit older. Alyssa has strong legs, but we do this drill all the time. Go ahead and swing, okay? And you can see, Alyssa's strong, but you can see that foot movement right there? It's very difficult. You talk about stability and posture and balance, and this burns all the way up through your core. And when we swing this, how many baseballs do I throw you on these? A lot. Hundreds, okay? And so I'm trying to not only work on their swing, but I'm trying to get their lower half. We always talk about, I hear everybody yell, be on time, get there on time. Trying to convince your hitters of understanding what on time means, and that correlates to early connection. The core of their body, when they land, go ahead and get back in your stance. I'm trying to keep this in right angles, okay? So when they stretch and they load, go back to your load, okay? When they get in that position, I'm trying to keep their body at right angles. The strongest angle is a right angle. I'm not a hitter either. I couldn't hit. That's why I stopped playing baseball. But I've watched this through success and failure for so many years. I can tell when their body's lined up and their body's at a strong right angle when they load. So load back again. That right there needs to stay at a strong right angle. Their body needs to stay centered, so start your swing. I know when they get there, they're going to be able to go all the way through. They're going to be able to stay balanced. And all this connects. And we talked, I'm going to just work on early connection and get into their hands and then connection on contact. But my belief and what we work on and what we work on with our trainers is getting our legs strong, understanding getting down and getting your body to stay still. It amazes me to watch all these people try to hit when their head's spinning in circles around the ball. I just don't know how you hit a round ball with a round bat while your head's moving. I still don't know how, and it doesn't work. So people think it does, but it doesn't, okay? So we do drills like this to strengthen their legs, strengthen their core, and to realize the body in motion and keeping your legs in a position to do that, okay? Liz, we're gonna go on the tee, okay? You can use that bat, okay? And then just little things, and I'm not gonna put Alyssa on the Bosu balls because after 2 knee surgeries, Coach Candrea would not want that to happen again. So just bottom hand, okay? I'll have them choke up and I'll try to get them to pay attention to that back thigh. I'm focusing on that to their belly button and I'm trying to keep that at a strong right angle. I'm trying to keep their body centered. I want their eyes You know, the girls, their one spot in their brain needs to stay in line or their body's not going to work as it should. And so we focus on that stuff. So when I do tons of reps, I try to get their body to stay in that balanced position. Okay? Go. The acceleration of their hips and the pivot foot, all those things need to engage. And there's no crazy gyrations or motions. You see these people swinging and their bodies going all over the place. All we're trying to focus on is there, centered. Keep your head still. The longer your eyes can see the movement of that ball, your eyes and hands can do amazing things. If we torque all of our energy down into our back thigh and let our eyes stay still and keep our eyes centered, your hands and eyes will do amazing things. What the blast sensor tells me is that they're connected. It tells me that their body's in a strong position, and I can tell by the path of their hands and their time to contact that we're matched. And so what this does is, are these numbers I'm going to pass on to them? Maybe not. There's other numbers on plane percentage and stuff like that we can talk about in the game, but these are numbers that I keep, and it allows me to pass on that information with my trainers, so when I have them in the weight room, I can continue to pass on this information. If you're hitting, you know, we talked about having 150 swings a day. If you're not swinging 150 times a day, your body's not going to feel it. You're not going to feel that time that your body is on, okay? Sometimes, if you got somebody that's swinging the ball 150 to 200 times a day, there's going to be days where after the 30th swing, they're done. They know exactly where they're at. Because of the other days, they swung 180 to 200 times. So you'll begin to feel that. Go. Both hands. Okay? I can see your score over there on the... Okay, Liz, Rito. And after this, I'm going to have Matea go, because what's unique is, you guys, when you know, we're here at PGF and everybody's here playing, and go ahead. There's a lot of great teams here, and you get to watch a lot of great kids. And the one thing that you see is crazy talent. The teams come from all over the country. But what you can tell people don't do is they don't focus on the movements of their body. They're teaching them how to swing a bat and hit a ball. But as they get older, and when they get into college, if they don't know what their body's doing and how to engage and connect their body up, it's going to get tough. It's going to get real tough. That's when kids go, you know, 1 for 35, and they just sit in their dorm room screaming out loud because they don't know, because they can't connect their body up. Their brain and their body's not connected because they haven't practiced this stuff at a young age. So I would stress to you guys, do simple hip rotation drills. Get them, I mean, have you guys ever had your kids play Frisbee? Throw bats, do different things to get their bodies to engage, and it will allow them to start to feel their body more often. Okay? And Alyssa, for 16, is pretty quiet. She keeps her body down. She's pretty firm. But when she loads back up, she gets to that firm right angle. Everything's locked in, and she's there. Okay, Matea. Now, this is where it gets unique, because if you take a collegiate player, an elite level high school kid, and now we're going to take a 10U player. You were like near first year 10, right? So she's 9 years old in my eyes, but 9 going on 30. Okay? But Matea works real hard, and Matea pays attention to all those little things. So you can see as a 10-year-old, her hips are engaged. Her lower half's engaged. And when she lands, her body's on that spot. So the rest is going to be, how does she develop? How does she take this? How do we correlate keeping a young girl in the weight room and engaging through the med balls and jumping up and down and all the drills we do without putting a lot of weight in their arms, but raising them properly, but keeping them engaged in this. And this is the secret to this. So the reason I brought in the 3 kids is because you see the varying ages and their skill sets, but there's certain things that you see in a swing that you see in a 10-year-old that you will see in a 20-year-old, and they match. And some of this stuff is through, obviously, talent, but their skill set of their development in the weight room and how strong and how centered their body can stay, how proper their posture is. A couple more, go. Good job. And I'd be willing to bet this week there'll be a lot of 10U kids here swinging real well, and it'll blow you away sometimes how good they get. But when Blast, we got engaged with Blast with the Batbusters, I used most of the information for myself. I use it on my phone. The girls now, I think, like Kenny had mentioned earlier, they know now how many swings they really are swinging. It's oftentimes that they're working hard, they're putting in a lot of time. How many times does that bat hit a ball? And it is interesting sometimes. People think they're working hard when they're not. So I wanted to put the three of them together to give you guys some ideas of just some simple drills. Our weight room is, it's a mecca. This place it hums at night. There's a lot of people that work here, but they all want to get that strength and the ability to stay on the ball, keep their posture. And so I would recommend that for all of the people that are watching and even for the collegiate kids, there's things you can do in your body, make it stronger, to get you to realize some of these numbers much more efficiently. So that's my main focus on this. Early connection on contact, the bat speed and things, and the angle, those are things we work on in the cage, and we can get individual. That's more of an individualized thing for me anyways, that we can focus with a particular person on what it can improve on. But the connection thing, that's a metric that all the younger kids especially can really benefit from. So that's all I wanted to go over today. Yes?
Do you find that, depending on the age of the kid, it's easier or more difficult for them to understand playing connection rotation?
Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah? When they're younger?
I think at 14 I didn't understand a thing.
Okay.
So I definitely think now it's easier because I'm older. And I mean, I've been through it a lot, and especially with Mike Kendrea. Mike Kendrea does the same things, and I think it's easier now to understand, to know how to play at an elite level, and to be able to play against top teams. It's definitely easier when you get older.
I think it's important, Vanessa, as a coach, you have to be self-aware of the people you're talking to. Like my things with Matea, even though she's more advanced for her age, I stick to the basic things of her balance and posture. So I think that it's important for us as adults to be able to filter who we're talking to. But yeah, I know, but I don't want to use the term brainwash, but I can do tricks to the younger girls to get them to do what I want without telling them I'm doing it. And it gets the result at the end. Them, I can't do that. They call BS on me right away, so they got it. So anything else? Any other questions? All right, thank you.